Okay, so this is the 2.5 liter engine, 5 cylinder, and we're gonna be replacing it with this new engine, slightly used engine with only 19,000 kilometers. So okay, let's get started. So we have to remove the axle from this side and also the other side, so our transmission is free. Then we have to go, I'm probably gonna remove all these containers so we can have access to the mounts. On the other side we have the transmission mount here, and there is another mount underneath the transmission. So we will clear as much as we can. The other mount will be this one here, that one right there. Also, we need to remove our front bumper, radiator, and everything so we can remove our engine through the front. And then we have this pipe, so now we can just put it somewhere here. So now we're gonna try to remove this one. There is one bolt here, and then there is two more here and another two behind. So we're gonna be removing those. So one thing I should mention is, before you start these, make sure if your engine was running, just disconnect the fuel pump fuse and just let it run until it dies, because this hose is gonna be pressurized. I didn't do that, so there's gonna be some little bit of pressure there from fuel, but it's not too bad, just a little bit, just to keep in mind. Okay, so we're removing the axle, and the way you remove it is there is 6 bolts here that attach to the transmission. You gotta remove those 6 bolts. They are I think they are 5mm. I don't even remember. And then you undo these 6 bolts. Also undo the tie rod or lower control arm, and I undid the sway bar link. So now I can remove this part and get it out of the way. Let's get it out. Right, so we got the axle on the passenger side. Now, as you can see, 6 bolts holding it, and that's it. The other side will be pretty much the same, but I'm gonna show you too. One thing to mention, don't forget or be careful with this gasket. There is a gasket at the end of the axle, so you might just put it here, and remember, when you put it back, you just gotta go there. Okay, so we have free space now here. As you can see, now we're free here. I'm gonna be later removing those bolts for the exhaust. I think I'm gonna undo that from there, because from the manifold is gonna be a little more difficult. So since the whole motor is coming out, I think if I just undo those 4 bolts, it'll make it way easier, and then I can just swap the manifold. Now I got that, and we're gonna be doing the same on the passenger side, on the driver's side, sorry. So once we have those out, we will have more room. We still have to disconnect a few hoses here and probably a few more things like wiring. I have to disconnect the AC lines, but I don't want to actually break any lines. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna remove the whole compressor and move it on the side, so I don't have to break any lines and release any gases that are bad for the environment. And also I don't want to have to recharge my AC, so I'm just gonna remove the AC compressor and hopefully I have enough room. I also have to remove the power steering lines. We can see the reservoir here for the power steering and the line going to the rack. Also need to remove the shifter cable for the transmission and the clutch line or cable. So we do that and then we're good. You're gonna need M8 M8. As you can see, this is a very Volkswagen tool. Okay, so I decided to remove the liner because I didn't have any access and that was bugging me. So hopefully now I can show you better about these. Let's see. So we got the bolt here. M8 socket. Like I said, I put a screwdriver or something here so it locks the disc, and then I just loosen it up. It's very loose. I break them free and then I'll just use a driver to get them out easier. Okay, so we are going to remove this bolt. This bolt goes through the disc and threads onto the axle. So we remove these. These ones are out now, but we still need to remove the swivel link and the lower arm. So we'll do that now. So actually I didn't need to remove any of that. I was actually hoping I didn't need to. That's why I didn't do it, because otherwise that's the first thing I should do. But I was able to just pull it out from here and like this, just like this. So I didn't need to remove any of these except for the bolt that goes here and all the 6 bolts that thread to the transmission. Other than that, everything goes just like so, and here we have it. Okay, so I have decided to remove the bumper and all the front, the radiator and everything here. in order to remove the motor, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna have a space to lift it up and bring it out. So I think at this point it's just easier to remove the bumper and everything else and just put my motor hoist once I get it, and then just slide it out. So we're gonna be doing that right now. I have to undo these T25s, all these ones here, and the same thing is gonna happen on the other side. There's a T25 here, and I gotta do the same. So we're gonna start doing that. Now we're just gonna pull on it, just like so. This should pop out. Get these bolts out of the way. Just like that. Okay, now I'm gonna go underneath and see there's more bolts underneath that I have to undo. Okay, just so you know, there is one bolt here, one here, and a couple more here. So once I have those removed, the bumper should just come out. Okay, now we have the bumper out. We need to remove these. Okay, we're gonna put it somewhere. Now, few things here. I'm going to be removing the rebar. There is 4 bolts. I already sprayed some lubricant there because they might be a little tight. So four bolts here, and another 4 bolts on the other side. Just keep in mind there is this sensor, I believe is the airbag sensor. So carefully we're gonna remove these and any other wire that is attached to this rebar. Once we remove that, then we're gonna be free and start to remove the radiator. So okay, to have more space here and make my life easier, I'm just gonna remove the windshield washer fluid reservoir. Before that, I disconnected from here the motor, also the level here, and there is one more bolt here and another one here, and it should come out. Okay, so now I have removed the windshield washer reservoir. Now I need to remove some lines or the AC, excuse me, the AC. So I'm gonna be removing the serpentine belts. It has 2 belts. There is one that goes from the crankshaft down to the idler, and then air conditioning. Also, the other one runs behind the air conditioning, goes through an idler there, goes up to the water pump, alternator, idler, and yeah, so we're gonna be removing that. So I got my 15mm socket here, and now we're gonna be putting some pressure just like this, and then I can remove my first belt. So okay, we got this one out. So my air conditioning is basically free. Well, there is another belt that I'm gonna be removing, and the idler, I think it is on top, so it's just behind this frame. So I'll see if I can have access to it, and then I'll be removing that. Now we'll be doing the other belt. I have a 15mm wrench attached to the idler, and now it's out. Just remember, just to make it easier, before you remove these, write on a paper, make a small diagram of how they go. This is what I did, something like that. 2 belts. I might look a little ugly, but I understand, so when I'm going to put it back, I don't have to struggle. Okay, so now that we have removed the serpentine belt, we need to remove these hose here, this steering pump going here, and then so we're gonna remove it from here and then just place it on the side. The starter, we'll need to remove all these connectors here, the cable for the shifter. There's a few other hoses here. It's a brake system, for the brake system. I'm trying to avoid loosening or breaking these lines for the AC. So what I did is I removed the whole compressor, and I will see if I'm able to probably once I remove the radiator, I'll see if I can move it on the side without having to break any lines, because I cannot release that gas to the atmosphere. It's not environmentally friendly. Shouldn't be doing that, but we'll see. We'll try. We'll remove these 2 bolts here, these other 2 bolts here, and then we'll undo this one here, and underneath something is leaking. Underneath, I gotta undo this big connector. So I'm gonna be doing that. I think that's the only thing holding me up, and then we'll go. The cable for the hood, there is there's a split line here, so you can see this goes here, this cover goes there, and then you can just pop this up and it'll come out. So easy. Then once that is free, the whole radiator just come out. I removed the whole compressor. I don't want to break any lines and release any gas to the atmosphere. So, but as you can see right now, we have plenty of room for bringing our motor this way. So next thing we're gonna be doing is, I might have to move this line though. I have to see if there is enough room for that. Otherwise I have to bring the motor a little more to the left and get it out that way. We have removed the radiator. All we put it on this side carefully. What we did was all the hoses here coming from this side, for the AC compressor, we carefully supported them with a wire here, so they are just hanging there, but they are supporter. There is some other hose, yeah, everything here. This one, steering wheel or steering palm, we'll remove these 2 nuts here and then we'll place it on the side. Millimeter. Okay, holding the bracket, and now we'll just move it to this side. Now I have this one, which there is a bracket here coming down here and all the way back. So I will be breaking this line here, 17 millimeters, I believe. We'll be doing that right now. So it's going all the way down. Okay, so now we can move these, put it on the side. Okay, so there was this hose was held by a bolt here. There is another bolt here that we'll remove. I don't know where it's coming from, but just in case I like to label it, so I know for sure when it's going back I'm not gonna be trying to guess. So many hoses, so many connections, so I gotta label as much as I can just so I make the reassembly process easier for me. Okay, so now I got all these connections for the alternator, starter, motor, all these connections. I'm gonna label them as much as I can and disconnect all these hoses. I have to start transferring some to the other motor too, but well, we're just trying to clear everything just so we can remove it towards the front and we can start loosening the mounts and bring it out. We have disconnected all the connectors here for the fuel rail. Now all this harness, we're just gonna bring it on the side and put it right here. So whenever we bring the motor, the new motor will just transfer everything. Right now I'm just gonna take advantage of the space, and I'm gonna remove the intake. These I will be transferring to the new motor since it doesn't have one. It's gonna be easier just to do that, and I'm gonna transfer as much as I can right now just to make it a little bit better. Now I'm disconnecting these wires for the transmission, like this one here. It has a little tab here, so I just, not sure if you can see, but it has a little slot, so I used some pliers carefully to compress it a little bit, and then I just pushed it out. This is just a rubber, so it just goes like pressure there. And this one, this is just a clip. So what you do is just leften it and press it out. That's it. Now lift it up and it's out. That's it. So I have removed the bolts, 3 bolts that hold the whole bracket, and I'm just gonna put it on the side, and when the new one is on, I'll just put it back. There is a little clip here. See, as you can see, it's out. So now I disconnected the bracket, and now I just pull back on this, and that should be it. Now there's some liquid coming out, so I'm just gonna make sure I put this back. Some brake fluid. Carefully not to damage the line, and be careful with these because it's brake fluid, so you gotta be careful. We're gonna tape it and make sure it's not actually leaking on our vehicle, because as you know, brake fluid can be bad for paint or metal. Okay, now I need to remove this cover for the exhaust. I removed the 2 bolts going here. And now just pull on this. And it can come out. Okay, now we have free space here, and we will be removing the exhaust or the manifold, bolt manifold to the exhaust. So we have the oxygen sensor here. Need to disconnect there at this area. Okay, so right now I'm gonna be removing the intake manifold, and all you gotta do is to remove these bolts here. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You need something thin in order to have access through these holes. I have a made up tool here. It's I think it's 6 millimeters. Not completely sure, but anyways, as you can see, this is something I have to use in order to gain access, because the space is pretty it's pretty limited there. So okay, I got all the bolts loose here now because of the oil dip stick is in the way here. I have to remove this bracket using an M8 socket on these. So I'm gonna loosen that. Very tight. I'm gonna loosen that, and then I can remove it. Okay, as you can see, intake has been removed. You can see all the valves there. Okay, so right now I have the engine hooked up. I put some chains around these. I also put a chain around. There is a slot there, or a hole where I put a chain through, and I have a sling with a come along also, just in case I need to adjust it, and if it's not going level, then I'm gonna use that small come along to level it. So there is a little bit of weight on the engine hoist, and right now I'm gonna proceed to remove the bracket on the bottom for the transmission and the engine, which is this one right here. There is 2 bolts there. I believe they are 15 millimeters. And once I have that one removed, I will be removing the top mounts. So this mount and these mount right here. So we'll do that right now. All right, so the bottom support mount is already removed. Now we're gonna be removing this one. We're gonna get rid of this bracket here. You need a 13 millimeter socket, and then for the mounts here you need 17 millimeter. We got these mounts out, and now we're gonna undo this one here. Woo, it's a little tight. I think I'm gonna find something. Just hold on 1 second. The mounts are out, our transmission, all the mounts. I think we got everything free there. Got the exhaust pipe, all the exhaust pipe, everything else here. Now it's just a matter of bringing the hoist out. Oh, there is something coming out. There's some water. Oh, now we got it. Now we're gonna turn it away, bring it out. We gotta be careful here with these hoses. Mm-hmm. All right. Space is limited here, so we gotta improvise. But it's out.
Woo!
So as you can see, I had to bring the whole thing, transmission out, and I'm gonna be setting it on the floor right now, or on a little cart. Then I'm gonna be removing all the parts that I need to transfer them to the new motor. I'm gonna be removing the exhaust manifold, the mounts. We'll unbolt the transmission and install it on the new motor. I already transferred these pieces to the old motor, as you can see here, because it was broken. The vehicle wasn't an accident, it was damaged. And then we'll transfer the steering pump and all the mount with the alternator. So okay, we're gonna be bringing a little cart here, and then we're gonna set it on the floor.